Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 25th of June edition of the BB&B live stream, where we have beverages. We have blades. And we do, on occasion, discuss bushcraft things. Now, I would, before we go any further, just like to do the usual weekly housekeeping, which is the part where I say, if you're watching us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or whenever, sometime in the future, thank you for your eyes, thank you for your ears, thank you for the thoughts you sometimes drop down below the doobly-doo. If at any point tonight you really love what's happening on screen and in your ear holes, then I invite you to hit that. There it is, smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you really kind of think that I stink at this, that's okay. Leave me a frowny thumb. That works just as well for the algorithm. And if you'd like to take a more active role in keeping the lights on around here, as several in the side chat have already done, then I invite you to check out the I'm gonna do it. The join button right there. Not right there. Click on that button, and you'll see that there are 2 tiers of membership, as well as what each tier gets you for your hard-earned folding cash. And now, without much further ado, let's see who's with us, who's hanging, who's chitting McChatting, who's saying hi, who's buying memberships. Okay. Oh, so much stuff open on my computer. Okay. StreamYard window is here. YouTube window is there. Or I guess. There. It's so tough because it's mirrored. So tough. Excuse me. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Oh my land! So many people are already saying hi, and it's only 21:05. Oh well, Canadian popped in good and early at 7:05 to drop some choice emojis. He's throwing us a hand. He's being cool. He's dropping a thumbs up. Thank you for doing that. He's got an axe, a boat, fishing, and he's got some whiskey. Now, one thing I would like to say is that on my second channel, my whiskey channel, I did a shoulder review of this Japanese whiskey, and I have since bottled it down. So sad to see it go, but it does mean that there is a space open to open another bottle. So will I replace it right away? No. It was very good, but the thing is, it's up against stellar drams, right? Like if everything I had was like, Johnny Walker Red or Black, Wild Turkey, not even like 101, just straight Wild Turkey, Jim Beam, stuff like that, then yeah, I'd be buying this as soon as it got down to about there. But I've got some stellar bottles and only limited amounts of money to buy whiskey with. So that one I might buy again as a novelty dram. If I have people over, I know, you want to try something really interesting, then that's definitely the bottle for that. Aside from whiskey, yeah. So if Al is with us, I will open the blue at 10 o'clock. If he's not, I will have a dram of this, which is a surprisingly good single malt. Um, very floral, very herbaceous, very, very different than than the Japanese one. Actually, it's no, it still is. It's just like if your palate is bourbon, this ain't gonna do you. You know, this is very floral, very meadowy. A lot of heather and grasses, and a slight farmy note. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, Canadian popping in good and early. 15 minutes to showtime. There was Christy, channel hero, saying hi to everyone. Um, Number 3 tonight was Serge. He is a channel mod, so be nice or be slammed with the hammer of by the hammer of Grapthar. I will be avenged. Christy's impressed that Serge is in so early. Oh yeah, Grace is in early too, popping in at 8:48, saying hi to everyone. Nice to see you, Grace. Serge is drinking a Kinnet white wine. I think it's the first time I do not know a thing about Kinnet. I don't know that. We drink a lot of white wine, which is like the missus likes white wine, and like rosé for dessert or whatever. I am definitely more of a red wine guy, but the summer is definitely white wine season. In the same way as in the summer, I drink fewer smoky or peaty scotches. I like the whiskey flavors to be a little lighter. Um, Beer wise, I don't insist on a stout in summer the way I do in winter. And for wine, I feel that white wine is a summery drink as well. How many of you guys watched my cocktail Facebook Live? Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I think Shawnee watched it. Is she around yet? I'm thinking tomorrow's garbage day. Make sure to get the green bin and paper out in the AM. Gotta do it. I used to take my compost out the night before, and then end up, with like blue nitrile gloves on, putting my compost bin back together before the guys came to grab it. So now I just put it out. Like I make sure that I get up, I go out, take it out immediately because sometimes they come by a little early. But yeah. They got Destiny in the house. How are you doing? How you doing? I keep doing that, and then like, what's that from? And I think it's from Friends. I think this is like the third time I've had that exact thought and statement thing in the past like 6 months. Destiny is asking where Peanut Trucker and David Evans are. I don't know. Haven't seen them yet, and I am far behind already. It's the start of the whole damn thing, and I'm already far behind. Just the 4 of us. We can make it if we try. Just the 4 of us. You and you and you and I. Doesn't roll the same way, does it? Country boy popping in, saying hi to everyone. Happy Tuesday. I kind of forgot it was Tuesday because it was a long weekend because it was Saint Jean Baptiste or Fête Nationale here in Quebec yesterday. And that kind of changes the way the rest of the week feels. And we have another long weekend coming up because next Monday is Canada Day, 1st of July. Nobody says 1st of July up here. July 1st. Yes, David is here. David, who is a channel hero and a channel mod. So kicking back with the hammer, ready to slam. Granted, that was at 8:58. Just to tell you how late I am, because it's now 9:12. If I can keep it down to 10 minutes, I'll call it a win. Everyone's just sort of saying hi to each other, so I'm gonna skip, make sure I'm not missing any names. Beautiful background pic. I wonder if that's in Quebec. Are you talking about hold on. I'm trying to hide myself here. Okay, let's just do a little experiment, okay? If I do this next thing, tell me if you can still hear me, okay? Could you hear me? Anyways, that pic is in fact here in Quebec. That was from a little bushcraft trip I did with Serge a few years ago on a piece of land that he had or has access to. I'm just sort of popping through because I'm late. Country boy. Even when there's no live, I just hang out waiting for Tuesday. Is that creepy? No, it's fine. It's fine. Just joshing with you. Wonder where that comes from, just joshing. Mark Davidson in the house. Channel Hero. How's it going, Mark? Nice to see you here. It is a happy Tuesday. I'm here. I'm single dadding until Thursday. So the girls are clearly not in bed upstairs, but I have the eldest one minding the youngest one. So they'll probably go to bed soon. If I suddenly if the screen goes black and you can't hear anything, it's because I'm upstairs giving a pile of crap to my kids. I'm like, go to bed. Summer camp in the morning. Um, hold on, Christy said something. I can't find it, but I know what you're talking about, Christy. Grace says, I saw the video about made me cry when Will was talking. I believe that you are talking about something I wanted to mention today. That our bushcraft buddy Joe Robinette had a wicked dirt bike accident and spent 3 weeks in a coma. And has a long road of recovery ahead of him, and may get the use of his hands back, but he may have some permanent damage. I'm just remembering back to the video. Look, at the end of the day, he's in a bad place for quite a while. And unfortunately, what happens when your job is YouTuber, you can't have that happen, right? So I don't know how his family is going to fare financially over the next little while. But I am so careful at all times because sorry, I'm getting a little parched here, guys. I'm so careful at all times. Because bushcraft isn't even it's not my career. Would love it to be, but it's not. But if I couldn't go to the woods and swing an axe and make a fire and quiet the demons, I don't know what I would do. So when you add on to that the fact that he is supporting a family, I feel for the guy. I definitely feel for the guy, and I told you guys that Camille got the mother of all concussions 2 weeks ago, and we oh, the large mountain one, Christy says. Okay, hold on. Let me finish this thought, and I'll get onto that thought. I've lost it. I've lost it. It was going to be seminal, but anyways, let me just sort of scroll down to where David is doing the God's good works by telling everyone to do that thumb thing. So we're finally at 9:02 in the comments and 9:16 in the okay. Hey, there's Sean in Alaska. Made it just in time for the bar run. Nice to see your name popping up. Um, I think you got a nice floor happening there, Sean. Nice floor. Like comments like that are so context dependent, right? Like, got a nice floor happening there, Sean. It's like, what the hell? Gotta watch YouTubes, okay? You just gotta watch some YouTubes. Um, just popping around. Um, Destiny says, "Oh yeah, okay. Off-grid recon in the house. How you doing? How's the weather where you are tonight?" I am sweltering. It's not that bad today, but well, it was pretty bad a little earlier, but it's not like 40 degrees the way it was last week or anything. But bleh. Yes, Canadian. I just spoke about that a little bit. Uh, yeah. Thanks, Serge. I'm trying to catch up here. I'm trying to catch up. Um, uh, yeah, off grid. I mean, I'm glad he's doing better. I mean, I'm definitely glad he's not in a coma anymore. But there's definitely some stress happening in that house right now, aside from the you know recovering from a wicked crash and all the injuries. Oh, water, nectar of the gods, bringer of life. Um, I'm just gonna roll down here because David also says support chance to become a channel hero. I support this message. Al is here, so at 10 o'clock I will be drinking blue. Blue. Did you guys hear that? It sounds like something fell down the stairs. Um, I'm just rolling. Ba-da-ba-dum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Al is in the house. Al's in the house, but I don't think Russell's in the house yet. Hey, there's Jennifer. How's it going? I'm sweltering hot, but I feel that if I say that to you, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, impress me." So I'm just gonna move right along. Ah. There's Russell. How you doing tonight, Russell? And there's Shawnee, who watched my cocktail live the other day. The other day, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? Did 2 cocktails this time. Technically, I did 3 because I did one of them twice because, Shawnee showed up and was like, "Hey, I missed everything. Do" you know? So I said, "I'll do one again. I'll do one again." Grace is glad his noggin is okay, but I worry about his hands. He's not paddling or swinging an axe anytime soon. He even said in his video that, like, he had all these plans for this season and up in smoke completely. Absolutely up in smoke. I mean, that's I you know, um, I haven't been watching him as religiously lately as I was before, not for any specific reason. I don't know, his content has changed a little bit as everybody's does, right? I mean, I used to watch Wrangler Star religiously, and, his his content got a little too religious and a little too kind of, um, angry and white, I guess. I mean, I watch, YouTube's for very specific things, and I don't wanna hear about your politics. I don't wanna hear about your politics, I don't wanna hear about your religion. I'm not saying you can't have those things, it's just I'm not gonna put my eyes on stuff like that because it's not what I'm interested in hearing about. I'm interested in hearing about tools, about solar panels, about solar anything actually. I'm interested in fire lighting, I'm interested in I got a new tent, I'm interested in outdoorsy stuff, homesteading stuff. I don't care if you think that we need to develop a small community of like-minded individuals. No, just tell me about building the cabin. I mean, it's X person's channel. I'm not saying don't say what you wanna say. I am saying that I will only watch the stuff that I'm interested in, and if it gets a little, you know, um if it moves out of my interest, why would I spend my time watching that when there are other when there's, like, Ray Mears is still putting stuff out, you know? There are so many videos being put out at all times that I'm actually interested in seeing. And I've discovered some new people recently. In fact, they're so new that I can't remember their names, so I can't tell you about any of them. Stupid. Oh, well. Oh, yeah, but all that to say that, like, I tend to cycle in and out of people, like I used to watch, um, Sean James's main channel religiously. Um, and I don't anymore. I still do sometimes just to but I don't know, I don't there was a magic to that original cabin and to that outdoor kitchen, and I know I know why he's had to sell. I know that it wasn't his choice, and in fact, I posit to you that his current homestead or cabin build, whatever, is absolutely a better cabin. I think he learned a lot from his old cabin, and he's put that into the new space, but there was a magic to that first well, not it wasn't his first cabin, but, the cabin that we all discovered him with. There was a magic to that space, and it feels that the current projects they're a little more like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it doesn't feel the same, it doesn't feel the same. He's also changing a little bit too, and it's all these people this is what I was trying to say. Oh, I got so distracted. My train of thought went off the rails there. What I was trying to say is that, of course, these channels change. They wanna keep things fresh for themselves, as well as for the viewers. Um, it's inevitable because if a channel like Joe Robinet or, My Self-Reliance, whatever, doesn't evolve, they stagnate, right? And the viewership starts to drop off. But, like, I don't care about dirt bike content, I don't watch MCQ. He used to be MCQ Bushcraft or whatever. He did great videos of, like, showing how to do bushcraft, and now it's all, like, Jeep videos. I don't watch that because that's not what I saw, MCQ as. So it's not because of politics, it's because of what I wanna see with my limited viewing time, especially on a week like this. I'm home with the kids alone, because the wife is off for work is away for work, you know? "Oh, there's Chris. How's it going? Where are you tonight, Mr. Peanut Trucker? Where are you trucking to?" Country Boy says, "Sorry about missing your cocktail live. There was a hockey game on." I I You're probably right. I did not watch the hockey game because I do not watch hockey. Everyone is like, "Yes, Peanut Trucker's here." Yeah, it's 21:26 right now, and I'm still about 10 minutes late. "Hello, Scott." I thought the "How you doing" came from Joe Walsh. So maybe I'm wrong. How you doing? I gotta figure this out. Scott, now I'm questioning everything. By the way, hi. Um, yeah, okay, so when I'm alright, okay. Good good to know that if I it makes perfect sense because, when I remove myself from the stage, I'm actually popping myself all the way out. I'm not just turning off the camera, so I guess that's true. You don't have to yell, Destiny. You don't have to yell. I'm back. Yes, okay, the large mountain one, that's yeah, that's actually in Alberta. I took that picture in Alberta. Yeah. Hike with Mike. Hike with Mike's in the house, but I missed him. There he is. Hi, Hike. Oh, I did it again. Sorry, man. Hi, Mike. Uh, okay, so Chris is in Dublin, Georgia, down by Savannah, Georgia. Um, I would like to see Savannah one day. I hear that it's a very pretty town. Oh, okay. Is my ultimate cabinet in Quebec, Ontario, East Coast, or overseas? Okay, mm, if I can I give you like a top 5, but like in no particular order? If I like suddenly came into 30 million bucks, I might have more than one cabin. Um, there are parts of Quebec that I think would be phenomenal. Um, Up around the Saguenay, beautiful, heartbreakingly beautiful. Um, Coastal BC, I have fabulous memories of my old stomping grounds, like around the Sunshine Coast or like down around Denman Island or I mean, the closer you get to Vancouver, the less worth it is b just because of, housing, right? Um, I find down around the Okanagan to be enchanting, but I don't have the patience for anywhere with that pervasive a fire warning reality because it's semi-arid. You have brush fires at the drop of a spark. And if I build a cabin somewhere, I want to be able to bushcraft around it. You set my camera up, build a little lean-to, and spend the night out there with a fire going. And I do not think that would be part of my life if I lived in down around the Okanagan. So, BC rainforest, yes. BC pocket desert, no. um, for the same reason, like there are some parts of Alberta that are spectacular, but I don't want to deal with you know wildfire warnings so much. Um, there are parts of Northern Ontario I'd love to be in. I'd love to be even just around where Russell lives. It's gorgeous there. It's fabulous. You're not far into the north, but you don't have to be. Like National Geographic specials and stuff should tell us, you got to be on the French River, but you don't. Around where Russell lives is great. Um, I don't think I'd want to be further south. Like, I don't want to be in the Ottawa Valley or anything like that because I feel that there's not like around Montreal. There's a problem that you know, um, even my own family has been here for 400 years. Right? They've been building this city and its surroundings for 4 centuries, and what that means is you're driving 5 hours to get to Crown Land. Okay, if you can even get through all the private land around it, like just to get to it. So, for me, anywhere that is not a reality is going to be a winner. So, like, my ultimate cabin would not be within a 3-hour radius of Montreal for sure. I mean, it's still farmland, and third growth forest, fourth growth forest at that point. Um, I'd love to have a cabin in Sweden. You know, just far north enough. Just far north enough. I'd take a cabin in Norway on a fjord too, while we're at it. East Coast is kind of tough. I feel that if I had a cabin on the East Coast, it would be more of a small town cabin, more of an Anne of Green Gables kind of existence, you know. Nice part of the country, though. You know, I haven't been to all of the Maritimes, and I haven't been to Newfoundland, but you know, I've been through Prince Edward Island. We played a wedding there and turned it into a small mini tour of Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick. Beautiful areas, both. New Brunswick, though, there's a part in the middle where you're so remote that your cell phone doesn't work and there's no radio. So if you break down in that part, you better have a satellite phone with you. I hope that helps, Destiny. Where's your ultimate cabin? Where's everyone? Where's your ultimate cabin? Absolute ultimate cabin. You want to be on like a black beach in Iceland, or do you want, you know, a house on stilts in the Caribbean, or you know, do you want a mountaintop cabin in the Rockies? What would you guys consider to be like your ultimate cabin? Mike says the wilderness is the best place to be quiet. Is the best place to quiet the demons. It is. It absolutely is. Camille's doing better. Look, she perks up really fast, right? She can have a raging headache and she's still palling around with her friends telling jokes because she doesn't want that stuff to stop her. Today was her first day at her summer day camp. She pinged me at one point in the afternoon saying she's a little nauseous. So I said, listen, sit down, catch your breath, tell the counselors, you know, I should have told them this morning that you're recovering from a concussion, but I forgot. So I emailed them. And I'm going to send her in with some Tylenol and instructions about like how, you know, when she's allowed to have one. But, you know, she's on the mend. She can't get hit in the head. It cannot happen, you know, and she still needs to sort of take a step back and relax a little bit every now and again. She's physically a very tough kid, emotionally fragile as hell, but physically very tough. Coleman stoves behind me. Where? No, those are like puzzles and stuff. Those are the kids' things. I have a 2-burner Coleman stove. I don't know how vintage it is, but I got it used. Yeah, quiet the demons. You know, that's what I call it. That's why if I don't get into the woods on a semi-regular basis, I get really bitchy. Go just a little bit nuts. Hey, there's Marcus. How you doing? I still think that you, me, David, and like maybe Tenenbaum have to do a panel discussion about lanterns. Maybe I'll take Wednesday off one week so that we can do it right. Okay, everyone's saying hi, so I'm gonna move along. Demons be gone. I'm just trying to catch up here. But fortunately, everyone's just sort of saying hi to each other. David is back to working on his ATV tomorrow. Marcus says it's about time. No, David's had his son visiting last week. That's right. Oh, Russell hasn't heard a pool temperature report from Christy yet today. So Christy's not letting him dangle for long. 92 degrees freedom. That's a little, I think we keep ours at what would be 88, 89 degrees freedom. Not one of those Attica Alessi tents. Are those the ones that? Hold on. But like, I thought Attica Alessi was just like a camping channel. Do they make tents, or are you saying that you want one like they've got? Oof, they got a tent, all right. But they don't make that tent, do they? I thought they were just a camping channel. And where are they? Oh, they're in Turkey. Ian the Weblord popping in. Ian the Weblord is a channel hero. How's it going, Ian? I hope the temperature is great where you are. Better than it is here, anyway. Uh-huh. Joey, how you doing? Really, Scott? So he would say the same thing. How late am I? Okay, it's 21:38 right now, and I'm at 21:27. Audi, not driving. Nice, man. Oh, power outage at the plant. Okay, sorry to hear it. I thought you had a night off. I was like, sweet. Kicking back with a glass or something. Oh, well, Audi anyway. I'm guessing that, is two relatively similar things happening independently of each other, unless one of them was referencing the other. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I also love my air fryer. Country Boy says there's nowhere in BC that's affordable anymore. Williams Lake isn't much cheaper than the lower mainland, and it's 6 hours north. Wow, that's too bad. I will go lightly political for a minute here and say that this is what happens when something that's supposed to be a basic human right, which means a cave to lay your head, becomes commodified right up the wazoo. Something has to happen, because as it is, my kids will never be able to afford even like a house like this. Prices have utterly skyrocketed in the past few years, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. If you look at what goes into the building of a house, the price you pay, they're not worth it. They're not. They're commodified, and it's dismal. It's dismal. Like, if you don't own a house right now, chances are you will not get one. I mean, which means that you're stuck with a landlord for the foreseeable future. Do I have a hole in my shirt? My God, I got a hole in my shirt right there. That sucks. Baked beans. I bet Jennifer is happier at home tonight. I understand Destiny's going to Airbnb the hunt camp. She is buying me. I like it. Hi, Quiz Mike says, the extent of my Canadian travel was crossing the bridge from Detroit to Windsor and crossing the bridge from Buffalo to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. That's it? All right. Jennifer says, our Arizona land. I believe that you are answering the question that I threw back at Destiny and to everyone else. Where would your ultimate cabin build be? Of course, Serge is in his ultimate house in the woods. Wow, her dad has a plot of land right next to Crown Land. Nice. That sounds about good with you. I agree with you. The same as Raspberry Rock. It's far enough away, but not too far from civilization. Reminds me of the Boundary Waters. Well, that's the magic of where Russell is. I mean, without getting exact to it where he is, he does live in an area that is just close enough. Like just close enough to head into town for groceries once a week and to get a sandwich, but far enough away that your next neighbor, like you're not hearing your neighbor's stereo, you know, or your neighbor's dog. David is happy where he is. You've got a nice cabin on a nice lake. I like it. Yeah, it's okay, Sasha. Karma's gonna get instant karma, gonna get you, as the song goes. Destiny says ultimate cabin, hidden deep in the woods, perfect. Freshwater lake, yep. I'd leave the beavers alone because I like the way the landscape from drought and flood. Okay, like Raspberry Rock, I guess. Ontario is first choice. And Alberta second choice, then overseas. Sweden, Norway, Finland for third. Yep. A cabin in Svalbard just because it's so remote. That is remote. A lot of Russians on Svalbard because it's an international zone, which is awkward right now, but hasn't traditionally been awkward. Like it's part of Norway, but it's an international zone. Russell says the only things I'd change about my place is a proper lake with moving water and drive right up to the cabin. There's a definite charm to a beaver pond, but I get what you're saying about having like a lake. But like, wouldn't you be afraid? Well, no, because we're fantasizing here. I was going to say, like, unless you could find a way to own the entire big ass lake, right? Like the land around it, I'd be afraid of some cabin showing up right across the lake at one point. You know, you hear construction and there's a cabin, and inevitably it's somebody, whose best time of his life was during like 80s hairband era, and he just loves to let it blare. Country Boy is devastated by Destiny picking Alberta over BC. I also would pick BC over Alberta any day of the week and twice on Sundays, but like if flying didn't cost so much, I would love to have like a place in Sweden and maybe like a pied-à-terre in Morocco, The road access is a deal breaker for Destiny. Yeah, I feel that road access gets more important for me the older I get. Like now that one of my knees is starting to go and this elbow's giving me trouble and this pinky, it's like Destiny. Love BC, but Sasquatch scares me. At first I thought because I'm not wearing my specs, so at first I thought that said Saskatchewan scares me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, Lake Louise is in Alberta, and it's gorgeous. Jasper is also very nice, and where I go every summer for that music festival on Abraham Lake. Beautiful, stunning. The lake itself is beautiful. It's a man-made lake, by the way. It was made in 1972 by a power dam that went in to power some local municipality or something. I'm not as scary as people say. I'm a gentle, fat, hairy teddy bear. Good to know. Marcus is checking in on David, making sure he's got everything he needs for that ATV right now. Mike says, eventually when we retire, we may move a bit further north in the States, but I would love to have a small cabin in my Florida swamps that I could visit, that I could go to and visit a few times a year. If I was to buy, like, I wouldn't buy a place in the States right now, but if I were to, I would love it to be in like Vermont or upstate New York. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I think we should own Vermont anyway. But that's just not the way things shook out. But just because like I've played a couple of gigs down in Vermont and stuff, and like everywhere I looked, I was like, I would buy this place. It's like such a that is a large ass beetle on my wall. Um, just such a nice countryside. Maine too, obviously. That whole area is such a nice forest, great countryside. Love the small towns, just love them. Just making sure that was a beetle and not like a cockroach or something. Um, just let me take a photograph and see what it is. Oh. So what are you? Yes, but what is it? This is a species of mosquito? No, it's not. You're an idiot. Oxasis trimaculata is a species of false blister beetle in the family blah, 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 found in Central America and North America. Still seems a little far north. Oh, it's gone anyway. Oh, no, he's over there. Anyway, whatever. If he's not going to eat me in the night, I'm going to let him live. Let him live. Live, small insect. Don't mess with us 80s metalheads, Jess. Yeah, I used to be in a heavy metal band back, not as far back as the 80s, but in the early 90s. Somewhere I've got pictures. So tomorrow David is going to change the block and change the spark plug. Okay, just making sure it wasn't 10 o'clock yet. Then put it back together, and I need to install the 10 amp circuit breaker. Oh yeah, there's a good point. Russell says, no road access isn't the worst thing. Nobody accidentally drives down my driveway. Okay, but let's say the distance you had to travel was half of what it is. Right? Like, wouldn't that be more of a win? You know what? I'm going to put that guy outside. I mean, I'm going to trap him for now and put him outside later. Because I just don't feel that he's going to be living his best life in my basement. So I'm going to put him in there. But I want him to get some air. So I'm just going to... There. There he is. And it's not like airtight. So, and I'll throw him outside later. But yeah, I do love the idea of nobody accidentally driving down your driveway for sure. Used to be a singer in a local hair band back in the 80s. Good old 80s. Destiny says, owning the access line is important for us, especially after seeing what happened to Sean James. Is that who you're talking about, SJ? Sean James? David is still looking for a small property to hunt on. I would love to find a small property. I would absolutely love it. A, hunting is great, but B, I just want to find a place to go to and shoot my videos. Because, I mean, you guys who are OGs will remember, I used to actually have bushcraft videos out semi-regularly because I had access to plots of land, and I don't anymore. So I buy lottery tickets in the hope of winning enough to buy a little plot of land. Marcus, in my head, I go camping every single day. As it is, when my kids are self-propelled, I will go camping more. I am taking the girls to a campsite at the end of July at Yamaska. It's a CEPAC. It's a Quebec national park, um, little southeast of Montreal. In fact, I have video of taking Camille to Yamaska. I want to say when she was 7. Let me just look it up because I know you guys love it when instead of talking to you, I'm just staring at a screen or like looking something up. But let me see if I can find it. Because here's the thing. No. Camping daughter. No. Camping girl. I probably called it like camping with the girl. I believe. Hold on a second here. Come on, fool. Yes. This video here. So it was 2018. That was 2018. So the missus. So this was for Labor Day, I believe, that we went. And I believe that the missus didn't come because she was pregnant with Camille's sister. If you're interested, right click on this and open it in another tab. But on that trip, at one point off camera, Camille said she wanted to go back. And then this year, her little sister asked me 3 times if we could go camping. And, so I was like, wow, if she's asked 3 times, it wasn't like an idle thing. She remembers camping when I was a baby. Like, she was in diapers last time we went camping, due to the plague and then life just getting in the way. But she still remembers going. And she asked a few times because I think one of her little friends said that they were going camping this summer. Anyway, so I'm scratching both those itches. I'm taking my kids at the end of July. Just a little 3 days. But yeah, I love camping, especially like wild camping. Like I've never done like the 10-day paddle trip though. Like, would I still love it after that long? I feel that I would. Just because I feel more at ease surrounded by nothing but animals, trees, and water. But like I've never tested myself that way. I wanted to. My whole thing, I made a couple of pointless videos about this because I didn't end up being able to follow it up. But my whole thing was that I would celebrate turning 50 by doing like a 5 or 6 day canoe camping trip. And I started my research and blah, blah, blah. And I just, whatever. I'm just tired of talking and not doing, so I don't really talk about it anymore. Now I'm all modeling. Why'd you go asking me questions like that? I'm all sad. So sad. Hike with Mike says, come on, fool. There we go. Hike with Mike says, like, something about this mouse, I have to click twice to get it to go. Our honeymoon was in Vermont. It's beautiful, but New Englanders are grumpy and not very friendly compared to us in the South. It was really weird. I found Vermonters are, granted, look, I live in French Canada, right? So anywhere someone says, hey, how you doing, as they pass you on the street is friendlier than I'm used to in Montreal, right? Because we're very French. John, Paul, George, or Ringo. Well, it's ginger. It's kind of a reddish color, so it must be Ringo. Yeah, just visit Russell during hunting season. Just hunt right off his porch, right? I used to live Lake Champlain was your backyard. Nice. Burlington, Vermont across the lake. Yeah. Yeah. Did Al leave? Al, did you leave? Are you still here? Am I opening blue? No, I have a clean dram glass here. That one is the one I used when I bottled down my Nika. Does this need to breathe? Like 3 minutes, right? Because there's no this. You know, it's a gorgeous bottle. Okay, this is one of my favorite whiskey bottles of all time. It really is. Look at that gorgeosity. The shape is fabulous. I just love the shape of it. I love the artistic value in the print. Come on, man, focus, will you? It's because I keep getting my face right in the way here. But beautiful European size, just gorgeous. But what kind of pop is that? It's a BS pop. That's what it is. Wait. Let me make sure that Al has left before I go pouring this. Bippity boppity boo. Mark is out. Okay. Tomorrow does start early. Tomorrow's going to start early for me too, because I got to get both my kids to summer camp before I go to the office. But what else? Nice. Like with Mike and Jess. Twin souls. No, I'm not gonna squish it. I don't tend to kill things I'm not gonna eat, unless it's like a mosquito or a wasp. They forget it. Yeah, of course I'm gonna bring my lanterns camping. I'm gonna spend half of that trip shooting video, man. Yeah, Squeak wants to camp, so we're gonna go. Oh, you're going for a full week at the end of July. Nice. Here's the problem. End of July is really tough because the 1st of August, just let me go all the way. Yeah, okay. It looks to me like Al is gone, so I'm going to Nicknean. Very floral, very light, very summery. Very large pour. Sweet. There's a honeyness there. Oh, here. What does it say? I've never read I don't read the tasting notes before I do a video. And I've done my first video on this. Light, fruity, and delicious. Say it. Nicknean. Drink it as you like. A favorite whiskey. 2 parts. Whiskey 6. Oh, I get it. Okay. A whiskey 6 is 2 parts Nicknean and 4 parts soda over ice with a mint sprig. Organic Scottish barley, 100% renewable energy, 100% recycled bottle. Net zero carbon initials for scopes 1 and 2. Yes, this bottle hugs a tree by itself. It doesn't need me in my arms. This tree hugging bottle just goes out there into the woods, breathes in the greenness, and out comes another recycled bottle that they can then fill with delicious organic magic. This bottle is so woke. I can stop. That was not where I wanted to go. For once, my brain and my mouth were happening at just about the same time, and I stopped my mouth just in time. When Quang Trong, YouTuber from Edmonton, goes camping, he brings all the food and all the kitchen setups with him, all from Costco. Quang Trong. I will take a look. Christy's asking if Dustin's ever seen Yo-Yo Camp. Yes, I have. The thing is, she's got some nutso setups, and it feels that all of her videos are part I am camping alone and almost ASMRing my camping trip, and part like another fully high-tech camping setup. Like, how much money does she spend on these camping setups? I still enjoy this stuff though, because I love videos where there isn't a lot of talking. where I can just sort of watch them and kind of zone out, kind of zen out, I guess. It's like a quietest thing. Oh yeah, okay. It's 10:01. Who's got a whiskey? I bet you Russell's got a whiskey. Who's got a whiskey? Yeah, she looks really young. She's in Korea, and I never realized how beautiful that country is where she camps. Yeah. Yeah. She's done a couple of episodes where it's like she shows up and it's pouring. But like some of those tents are spectacular. Like a lot of setup though. Like she goes hardcore into like lots of setup. I just want to make sure this little bug can breathe here. Yeah, he's okay. She's okay. It's okay. But yeah, exactly, Kristen. So many tents and gadgets. Absolutely. And yeah, she can really eat, and she's got a lot of beer going on. Like, I don't know how she remains so trim drinking that much beer. Marcus says, the description always makes it sound so unique, but when I drink it, I'll taste it the same to me. Oh, really? Like, this is... Whoops. Sorry. Hike with Mike says, speaking of Canada, I drove down to my hometown last weekend, Dunedin, Florida, where the Toronto Blue Jays spring train drove by their stadium, where it really is close to your old high school. I think when Montreal still had a team, I think they did training. I think their training camp was in Florida too, wasn't it? Raspberry Rock says, my whiskey is so cheap, I'm not sure it's actually whiskey. If it's 3 years or up, 3 years or older, it's legally whiskey. David says that they go there at least once to see a preseason game. At least once a season to see a preseason game. I heard Mike says the town has really grown since I left. It's really ritzy. All right. Good night, Serge. So is anyone having a drink with me? So, this whiskey is non-chill filtered and no caramel coloring, so that is its natural color. Okay, everyone's just saying good night to Serge. I shall now take a sip. Touch of espresso in the back end. There's a drying element, like an ethanol dryness. It's youthful. It's got some youthful zing to it. And then all these beautiful floral notes up here. And floral notes are kind of outside of my my wheelhouse. I've always been like big peat and then like big caramel, big, I've really grown to like bourbon a lot. I'll never see it as refined a drink as Scotch, but I like it so much more than I used to. In fact, sometimes if I'm just looking for a nightcap, I'll reach for a bourbon instead of a Scotch, because bourbon doesn't make you work for it as much. It's always slightly more syrupy. Bourbon notes are always kind of on the sweet, caramelly, if you get a good one, peanutty side. It's a much more relaxing drink, whereas Scotch kind of makes you, sit up, take notice, gird your loins a little bit. Country Boy's having some Four Roses. I still have not found a Four Roses here in Quebec. That's a classic bourbon. Half of cocktail TikTok and cocktail YouTube uses Four Roses as the whiskey base in drinks. It's like one of the it's one of the classic bourbons, and I just cannot find it here. And like Four Roses, there's like a high end one, a medium one, and a bottom shelf one, right? The way it is for many bourbons. But thank you for not letting me drink alone. Gabe Itch just in. Justin Trudeau passing new bill. Oh, well. Okay. All right. We do try not to be political, even if that is really funny. Hi, Gabe. Welcome to the live stream. Um, like I can't. We don't do politics, so that would be so damn funny. God. Like I can't even complain. Back to the live stream. I have a heat pump. The previous owner of this house put in one that was way too small for the house, though, so it sort of chuffs along. Yeah, it is that funny. It shouldn't be, but it is. I think it's hilarious. Russell's just pissing on my parade because he likes it. He's not even drinking whiskey. Yeah, what are you drinking tonight, Russell? What you got? Jess was doing his Jimmy Fallon. I do not know anything about what you just said. I think I know who Jimmy Fallon is. He's one of those late night guys, but I mix him up with not Seth, whatever. Like I never watched these guys, right? I have this sort of vague image. I think Jimmy Fallon is the one with like he's the one who kind of looks more like a kid. One of them did an awards show recently, but he sort of went in on Iron Man a little too hard. I don't pay attention to this stuff. I don't know what. I'll watch some Jimmy Fallon and I'll figure it out. As soon as I figure out which of those guys he is. Yeah, you know, the thing about this whiskey is this is an afternoon dram. Like this would not be a nightcap dram at all. It's very good, but it's not like relaxing after a long day. You know, it's pool party, tea and watercress sandwiches with the with the pastor kind of thing. I wouldn't do a damn thing with a pastor, but you know what I'm saying. Destiny is saying goodnight to Serge, but I think he's gone already, isn't he? Seriously, Russell, what are you having right now? 10 past 10 in the PM. I better slow down on that dram. As I've said to you guys a million times, when I'm talking, the dram just sort of, I'm not paying attention to it, so it just disappears really, really fast. That bottle was way too expensive to just down like that. I should buy like a bottle of Plonk whiskey for Tuesday night live streams. So that it's not a bad thing that I'm not paying all my attention to the. Smells like old leather. Lime candies. $100 bills with just a dusting of Coke. Like when I'm paying attention to you guys, I'm just sipping and not really registering what's happening. So with $100 bottle of whiskey, yeah, Sean says, no, don't be buying any more bottles of whiskey. Yeah, first of all, I can't afford to buy a crap ton of whiskey. It's just way too expensive. Whiskey has become just way too expensive. It's becoming an aspirational purchase, which I don't think whiskey should be. I think the greatest joy I ever get with whiskey is when I get to share it with someone. You know, and if this $100 bottle turns into a $160 bottle, people will share it less. You know, David, get some Macallans for your live stream. Bite your tongue. Bite your tongue. You know my you know my policy. No frickin' Macallan. Macallan is like Merlot. It does not pass these lips. Time for a whiskey reveal of all my bottles. I have way too many, but you know what? On my other channel, in January or last January, I did a January. Let me see. I did a video on my collection at that time. I had an embarrassing number of bottles. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it now. What did I call it? Collection. I hate that word. I hate the word collection. Yeah, I did one in 2021, and I did one at the start of 2023. So it's like a year ago ish. I'll share it here down in the doobly doo. I'm dropping it here. No, that's not what I meant to do. Left click and open in a new tab. But yeah, I believe I had and I broke a bottle setting up for that. I broke my bottle of Johnny Walker Green Label setting up for that because those bottles are square. So I knocked it over, and in my basement it's a concrete floor, and so like I've knocked over round bottles before, but because they're round, they just fall and roll. So like it absorbs the impact. Square bottle, and that's too bad because I do feel that the Green Label is my favorite Johnny Walker. And it's hard as hell to get in Quebec. Blue Label is easier to get here than Green Label is. Oh, hell yes, Russell. That sounds delish. A winter ale and an Innocent Gun rum cask. Unlock the doors didn't exactly drop the bass like I thought it would. No, but I know what you're saying. Best part of whiskey is the buzz. Fair enough. 10:15. Okay. I was just making sure that we still had some time. Both of those are that winter ale. Was that the Waterloo? Some of those Ontario beers are delish. The Innocent Gun. Last time I was in Hawkesbury, I tried to find that rum cask, but I could only find the regular one. I still bought the regular 4 of the regular one because it's delicious. So how many bottles did I have in that February of 2023 video? Just I'm scrolling to the end. I kind of feel like it was like 78. 76. Oh, and I lost 2 bottles doing that video. I haven't seen them since. I lost a like while I was setting up for that video, while I was organizing all my bottles, you know, all my scotches, my single malts are here, all my bourbons are here, blah blah blah. And I have not seen a bottle of Wild Turkey 101 and a bottle of Brick Classic Laddie since. I've had to buy them both again since. And I don't know what happened to those bottles. I have no idea what happened to those bottles, which irritates me because it's almost tragicomic to lose bottles of booze in your own house, right? Like, what? Anyway, what else? The Granville Island, yeah. I have not had that one. I've had Granville Island, like other stuff, but not that one. Granville Island used to be an independent. I believe they got bought by someone huge, which is why you can now get their stuff outside of Vancouver or outside of BC. But I don't know who bought them. So I'm looking at Granville Island Brewery. Does it say who owns them? Granville Island Brewing. Hold on. I will just look it up on Wikipedia. Granville Island Brewing, founded 1984. Headquarters is Granville Island, yeah. But owner, Creemore Springs, a Molson Coors subsidiary. All right. Good to know. So they're owned by Molson Coors. That sucks. But what am I going to say? Like what I've had by them is like, the English Bay Pale Ale, which is great. Is that the only one? No, I had something else, but I don't remember what. I remember there's something else I've had by them, but I don't. It's not the winter. It's not the winter ale. David says, "Oh, we lost some gummies in the house. We were on holidays and friends were coming to stay while we were away. I think my druggie friend found them." But gummies are small enough that you can. Oh yeah, okay. I lost some gummies. Right, I lost a bag of gummies. I lost 2 bottles of whiskey somewhere. It's not that big a house. This is your typical post-war 1951, built for returning soldiers kind of thing. It ain't a big house. But anyway, what else, right? What else? Just gonna put my watch back on here. Yeah, it really bugs me. I'm like, what the hell happened to those bottles? Anyways, I'm not gonna let this, eat away at my mind or anything too much. Yeah, winter ale is seasonal. Yeah, I think they've also done like a watermelon beer at one point as well, sort of as a seasonal. Anyway. Oh no, the tea's finished. But the whiskey's not. Whoa, what happened to my focus there? Ricky Stenek probably took them. The goblins took them. The gremlins. The Mowgli. You guys have seen Gremlins, right? That film. Raspberry Rock says to David, I have a good friend who has suffered fibromyalgia for many years. Gummies have done more for him than the constellation of drugs he's been prescribed. I also have a friend who has been suffering from FM for many years. I do not believe she has approached the gummies. She is very stiff upper lippy, full on Scottish Anglican. I think she would feel that gummies were not proper. Although, let's face it, man, whatever gets you through the night when you're dealing with that kind of freaking agony, right? I mean, fibromyalgia is not a joke. It's a life-changing diagnosis for sure. It definitely was for her. She hasn't been able to work in 15 years. We used to work together at the magazine in another life. I met her while I was working for an operetta society, and I don't know. She's not the same person she was before this diagnosis. Russell's trying to use interesting and exciting new words in his mouth output. Well, I support you in this. I absolutely support you in this. Good work. You're doing great. Country Boy says, my lady makes gummies and gives them to friends with chronic pain. I've never tried one, but everyone says they're miraculous. Raspberry Rock says to Gabe Itch, John Cena shouldn't act. Jim says, good friend of ours from Florida has been doing the gummies for her Parkinson's. Parkinson's, really? That's interesting. Okay. I did not know that. Parkinson's, by the way, is another crap hand to be dealt. Absolutely crap hand. My dad's father-in-law had Parkinson's, and nope. Yeah, it's chronic pain. It's just, I don't get it why the universe does that to people. You know, I don't know why the universe allows something like that to happen. Russell says, not a bad movie. The funniest part was the parody songs he does. Now, that's an interesting comment coming from Russell. I mean, of course you would appreciate the parody songs. Oh, your dad had Parkinson's. Sort of hear it. I'm trying to find what I face means. I'm looking. Unless you're referencing. David says he has a friend who has someone who uses CBD oil. Interesting. He started watching that movie as soon as he started singing. I was like, oh my God, that's me. You know, it's funny. I had a moment like that in a film as well. How many of you guys saw Sideways? Yeah, Sideways. It's the one where I was at Paul Giamatti. He's a lover of wine. He lives in California. He's a lover of wine. He brings his buddy on a wine tasting tour, and like at one point in that movie, I was just like, this is me. I mean, the guy's short. He's dumpy. He loves Pinot Noir, and he hates Merlot. I was just like, did they watch me before making this? Because I mean that's me. You know, like I hate Merlot. I think it's the Coca-Cola of wines, and I love Pinot. Yeah, Jennifer, I think you're right. Parkinson's really bites. Absolutely, and it's hard to be around people who are suffering from stuff like that, which makes it sound like I'm making it about the people living around the person with that. But what I'm saying is, like, it's hard to live with someone who's living with that because you're seeing them suffer. And if you're even remotely a caring individual, that's got to hurt. It's tough for the people going through it. A lot of relationships shatter or at least get strained when someone is going through something like that, or like the chronic pain of fibro. Because when you're going through chronic pain, it changes the way you interface with the world around you. And sometimes some of the people around you don't know how to deal with that. You know, it's like, God. Yeah, I like Paul Giamatti. Merlot's the one wine you actually like. Really? No, nope. You can cook with it. Doesn't it? Says even the hybrid plants work well with pain management. So interesting. I definitely think that there's once you get past that plant as a, as a recreational, it becomes more interesting to me. I mean, uh, it's legal here now, so it's not like, oh, don't get caught with a, you know, with bud in your pocket or anything. It's just, to me, it's not interesting as a recreational. But like the medicinal uses for chronic pain and stuff like that, that's where things sound more interesting to me. There are so many plants that have therapeutic value that we tend to not think about, because we think of all that as, oh, hippie nonsense or whatever. But like at the end of the day, aspirin is based on a plant, right? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the chemical, um, patentable stuff are based on plant remedies. Willow bark. Willow's bark becomes aspirin, kind of thing. Peanut sugar. My mother took care of him every day till the end. Can you imagine what it takes out of someone to do that? CBD and THC are incredible therapies. I use the CBD balm oil for my old man pain, and it works awesome. Well, maybe I'll talk to you about that at some point if my knee and this elbow don't give me a break. I need to go see a rheumatologist. I mean, I was told years ago, before my doctor betrayed me by retiring, that I have a degenerative arthritis, at least in my wrists, and I definitely think that that's what's happening. David says, "Where's Beto tonight? Brazil is legalizing marijuana." Maybe he's celebrating. Destiny says, "We have an older woman who is paid very well, I might add, to help older people in our community understand the uses of the plant and to break the misunderstandings around the plant and its use." Yeah, that sounds like important work. Absolutely. Christy says, "It's legal here in Arizona." Yeah, it is. Some states have legalized it, but it's still federally not legalized. So there are still instances where you could get in some serious trouble. Like what you need is you need a nationwide reversal of that. In order to, and I'm not saying to, everyone got to be token up. What I mean is, in order to really start exploring some of these therapies, you need to lose the legal framework around it, change the tune. I don't know. Is this political? I don't feel that it is, because we're talking about like medications, but I don't know. Some people get really weird about it. Like when Canada legalized it, I thought it was great, even though I don't use it, right? Like I'm not I'm not a fan for myself, but like we've had a problem with kids being caught with a small amount of pot on them going to jail. And if you want to see someone go from a kid who made a mistake to a criminal, incarceration is a master class, so to me, if the people you're arresting and throwing in jail are the ones like hawking coke rather than buying pot, I'm going to call that a win. I say that as someone who is not going to, oh, illegal, I'm going to buy some, because I'm not going to buy some. Country Boy says CBD balm works great on my arthritis. Is that something you put on, like you add it onto? Is it a topical? Country Boy says not so much the commercial stuff, but the homemade stuff sure does the trick. David's being funny. Oops. How come it's not? Destiny says the bomb version flies off the shelf in our city, known as the home of the newlywed and the nearly dead. I love it. I love that. it's weird, like, stuff like chronic pain, stuff like Parkinson's, stuff like childhood leukemia, stuff like that makes me wonder, like, what is the usefulness? What is the evolutionary usefulness of Parkinson's? What is the evolutionary usefulness of fibro? I mean, why are these there? If life mutates in order to perpetuate itself, what is the evolutionary benefit of fibro, of Parkinson's, of like leukemia? I mean, cancers are like, okay, a you know a particle zooming through space, pierces you and flips a switch in one of your cells. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. Like, are all these like, are we a species beset by cancers and diseases at every turn because of what we have done with the world? Are we constantly breathing poisons so it's killing us off? Or is life really just a huge game of Russian roulette? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I say this because I think about this stuff, right? Especially in the past year, like this year at my youngest daughter's elementary school, we lost a kid. Um, and I realized that if I'd said that and I was sitting in like Michigan, the next thing would probably be, like, but this kid didn't die in a hail of bullets. This kid died of a childhood, a cancer that specializes in hitting kids, right? Then this kid was in grade 3. And as the chair of our governing board, I had to deal with that at the beginning of one of our meetings. Meetings, where a principal, a school secretary, a base daycare technician, and 2 or 3 teachers who had all dealt with this in their daily routine were all there. And it's weird that the universe does that to a kid. They haven't done anything yet. They haven't pissed anyone off yet. I mean, in a big way. They haven't been canceled yet. They haven't canceled anyone yet. They haven't committed a crime yet. They haven't. So what's the evolutionary use? Because the universe works in mysterious ways is not good enough for me. It's not. You're giving the universe a pass on that, and I don't think the universe deserves a pass on that kind of thing. Oh, honeybee, honeybee's here. How's it going tonight? Honeybee showed me a great pair of boots he just bought a few days ago. I would love to have the money for a pair of boots like that. Did you tell me what brand they were? They're like logger boots, like good leather logger boots. They weren't Reds, were they? No, I don't think so. What brand were they? I think somebody is still up there. I thought maybe, but it might actually be a breeze shaking the blinds. So, Honeybee says, I doubt that they're useful. They don't stop folks from reproducing. Exactly. They're generally late in life afflictions. Absolutely. Therefore more likely to be passed down. Are they more or are they less likely to be passed down because they tend to strike, like Parkinson's tends to strike way after you're in your child begotten days? Are we? Does that sound religious? I mean, I'm definitely not religious. I worship at the altar of science. They're called Drew's boots. That's what they're called. Do you have a URL for that? Trying to understand the meaning of life. It'll drive you insane. I don't know. Are we buying knives? Are you kidding? I can't buy a knife. I'd like to. Hey, Marcel, how's it going? And do I have AC? Yes. Well, we have it's a heat pump / AC unit. It's not really good enough for our house. It's a size down from what we need. So we'll replace it at some point, but holy snap, those units are pricey. We need like a 2-head system. Everyone's saying hi to Marcel. Honeybee, sure, I'll drop it 200 DMs. Okay, fine. Everyone's saying hi to Marcel. I'm looking for our DMs so that so I can share the URL. Not Discord, fool. There it is. Drew's boots. Oh, it's a long URL. Maybe I'll just do I'm gonna do a screen share. Okay, screen share. Present. Nope, that is the wrong button. Share screen. Window. There we go. Drew's 10-inch logger brown rough-out boots. Okay, so for me it would be size 8.5. Width, probably medium. So that's in American dollars, 380 essentially, or $34.29 a month with shop pay. Check your purchasing power. By clicking built to order, you acknowledge a 3 to 4 month lead time and our custom boot policy. But what's custom about these? You've just made 2 selections. These are not true to size. Please size down half a size from your seated Brannock size. I don't know what the hell a seated Brannock size is. Or size down 1.5 sizes from your average shoe size. Example. No, I wouldn't buy them unless I could actually try them on, because I would be way too scared. Because if they're all like custom, then the returns is probably returns and package protection. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I would need to try them on and say, yeah, I need a size something. Stop. So nice though. Like, where are the finishes? Because do they only come? Oh, I see. Brown rough out. Okay, so men's work, wild on fire boots, logger boots, contractor boots, fire hiker boots, safety toe boots. Use those, while chopping. That's too tall though. I think, I like, I like a 10-inch boot, but I feel that I would wear it a lot more if it was a lower boot. Like, I'm just thinking back to when I used to wear Doc Martens. I never got the really tall ones because I wouldn't wear them enough, because it was just too much work to it's just too much work. Just too much work, just too much. It's just too lazy. All right, good night trucker. What are those knives called where they dig a crab in a horse's hoof? What are they, farriers? No, that's a rasp. You're talking about the ones that look like crooked knives, right? I don't remember what they're called. Brownick device, the funny metal thing you step into at a shoe store to check your. Oh, okay. All right. Seated Brownick. Okay. Did not know that. See, good thing you're here because I learned something new tonight. Apparently, Viberg custom lager boots are the cat's ass. Okay. Are they around the same? They probably are. The thing is, you want custom boots. You're spending big, and it's going to be worth it because they'll last you forever, right? 2242. David's asking if Russell will get a horse to go with the tool. I missed something. Is this boot for camping, hiking, survival, canoe trips? I like an ankle-high boot for most adventures. Yeah, and I think that's the size that I like the best as well. Something just a little above the ankle. I feel that gives me some support, but I can still kind of move. Like I feel that I would get kind of claustrophobic feeling with a full-on 10-inch boot. But there are use cases for that high boot. I just don't see myself in any of them. I love the look of them though, especially like a nice suede or just a basic brown leather. So nice. It reminds me of like, what was it called? An axe to grind? Was that what it's called? How many of you guys saw that video or series of videos by the U.S. Forest Service? Like, it's old. I think it was called an axe to grind. He got out. He got out and he's on my monitor. You sneaky little bastard. Look at you up there, just crawling around. Trying to figure out what to do with yourself. Like, in that video, they're always like, you get yourself some good leather boots. And I think that trying to figure out my statement. What I'm trying to posit to you is sometimes I get like comments on my videos like, you're wearing sandals and shorts and you're swinging an axe. And I understand the sandals thing. My sandals have like a tough toe on them, but I can see that the optics are bad. Like I can like, I understand that if you're using an axe, you should really have steel-toed shoes. I get it. But the shorts thing, I'm like, if I'm sweating hot, I'm not doing a good job of whatever I'm doing because I'm just trying to I'm just dying. I'm just, oh my God, I'm hot. I don't want to be here. Right. And so to me, being comfortable in the heat is of paramount importance. And also if you slip and ding yourself in the shin, I want to be in shorts because then I don't have to go trying to pull up my pant leg to see what happened, to see how bad it is. This isn't about the pants though. Just let me check something here, people. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Grabbing this guy again. Uh-oh. You didn't die, did you? No. Okay. All right. Got him again. Sure did get him again. All right, there. Back in the... Grace had a pair of boots custom made for his son when I was in Korea. Had to measure his foot about 20 different ways, but they fit like a glove. I am... like, they've got all these machines now that scan, your foot, right? So it's not like you don't have to be trying it on and all this and that. But I never trust my own measurements. Like this shirt is good for these measurements. I'm measuring, like, am I holding the tape too tight, or am I not tight enough, or blah and blah and blah. Okay, I thought he got out again. They're expensive, but they're like wearing clouds on your feet. Oh, I love that. Yeah, the critters are taking over the live. Yeah, sorry guys. There for both work and perhaps hiking. I got tenants just to help with the crazy ticks while outside. Wow, I hadn't even thought of that, but yep. What? Shit, are you kidding me, David? Pam has Lyme disease. Oh no. Ah. Wow, that sucks. That's no good. When did that happen? Yeah, you don't want shorts while you're like hiking in the backcountry for sure. No way. Okay, so they've got her on antibiotics for up to 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. So where and when did it happen? Yeah, I hope she's doing okay too. That's what a shit hand to be dealt. Oh, I'm swearing on my live stream. But really, God. But yeah, I'm with you guys, man. Antibiotics can really do a number on your digestion, for one thing. You know. Anyway. I got a bunch of numbers on this envelope, and I have no idea what I was pricing out. There's a discount of $2,135 on something. Oh, discount of 20%. What was I talking about? I was helping Camille with her math homework. It was one of those word problems. Anyways, I'm glad to know that the Lyme disease is curable with antibiotics, because yeah, she should eat a lot of yogurt for her gut health for sure. Something with a lot of probiotics and stuff. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so whatever. But yeah. Where was Honey Bear's comment? Yeah, because the ticks make that 10-inch boot. That makes a lot more sense to me now, for sure. Pam got a tick bite about 2 weeks ago. Went to see her doctor and got antibiotics, but they didn't work. Was diagnosed yesterday in Kingston ER, now on 2 weeks of antibiotics. So eventually this will clear up, though, right? Like, it's not a permanent Lyme disease thing. What do I know about it? We never had Lyme disease in Quebec up until like 5 or 10 years ago. Because the ticks that carried it just weren't here. And then, like, winters don't get cold anymore, and blah blah blah. Russell says, if I do my math correctly, she got the antibiotics too soon after the bite. So how long after a bite do you need to be on antibiotics then? Like, do you have to wait a few days for the excuse me. Like, is it because if you hit it too early, there's nothing for the antibiotics to work on? So you have to wait a few days or a week or whatever, I don't know what, so that the antibiotics aren't just being wasted before there's something for them to fight against? Is that what happens? If you were a billionaire, I'd be a lot more polite. The first dose of antibiotics was very mild compared to what she's taking now. Oh, well, they're maybe you have to wait a couple weeks before doing the test. I feel oh, sorry guys. I feel a Google search coming on. I'll do it after the live stream's over though. We had a thing here where we thought that the missus had Lyme for a while, but it was so early in the existence of Lyme disease here in Quebec that the doctors were just not prepared to even test for it. Like she almost just went and spent the money in New York. But I wish there was more tea in this cup. Yeah. I love this. Anyway, give Pam hugs for me and don't give weak hugs. Own it. Yeah. Tell her that we're all really rooting for her. That's terrible. That's crap. I hate that. For Pam, I mean. Way to bring down the live stream, dude. Although. Excuse me 1 second. Bippity bop. Country Boy says, there's no guarantee that the antibiotics will cure Lyme. I still suffer from joint pain 12 years later, and my rheumatologist said Lyme makes the arthritis worse. Oh, good. Nice. Okay. So I should not get Lyme disease then. I have no idea what Russell's talking about here. Are you on dumb drugs? Are you drug use so dumb? What are dumb drugs? What's going on with David? Is this something that I should know about but I forgot about? Wouldn't be the first time that's happened. Okay. There's something going on upstairs, and if one or both of my kids are still up, I am going to be highly irate. I am going to be in high dudgeon. I hope they heard me say that, because it's 5 minutes till 11, and I got to get those kids up for camp in the morning. Did he get out again? Oh no, he's there. He's losing the plot a little bit. I'll put you outside soon, buddy mine, little buddy. I'll put you outside soon, little buddy. You know what I'm saying? Russell was asking if Scott was maybe in the control group and got the placebos. Funny, Russell, I went for a blood test today at lunchtime, and when I was getting on the bus on the way home, because of course the missus has the car with her, my mom was sitting on the bus, and she'd been at the clinic right next to the one that I was at, getting her shoulder adjusted or something. So she's doing fine. She's doing all right. She was in the hospital for something relatively recently, but I don't remember what. Anyway, so we talked about our ailments, like a couple of old biddies for part of the bus ride. Excuse me. Jim's out. Good night, Jim. I'm sorry to hear about the power outage at the plant, but it's nice that you were able to hang out for the whole live stream. And I'll see you next week. Country Boy, anything is possible, but given the digestive distress I was in for over a week, I don't think it was a placebo. Damn those antibiotics. in their crappy ways. Well, we're coming down the end of it. Wait. Russell says, Scott, I've been watching House MD, so I'm a bit of an expert now. Your symptoms were likely psychosomatic. You're learning how to be a doctor with no with no bedside manner. You're doing the good works. I have got to shut down the site with these Drew's boots on it because they look good, but man, that's a lot of money. Like if they're $380 American, holy crap, in Canadian. All right, Destiny's out. Bonsoir tout le monde. See you next week. Thanks for the live, Jess. Bisous. Good night, Destiny. Yeah, he really is. House is a dick. Absolutely. So yeah. Oh yeah, Christy is telling Destiny to let her know what you think of Yo-Yo Camp. You're gonna love it. Absolutely. Grace says Russell probably stayed at a Holiday Inn last night. Oh, Russell, K. Marcel's craving coffee, which is why Russell says always have some decaf on hand. It can be just as good and fill that hole. Yeah. Yeah, let's shut her down because I'm starting to fade here, and I gotta go to bed anyway, and blah 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 blah. A whole 2 minutes early, no judgment, right? So yeah, I will see you guys next week. I believe for members, there's a members only live stream on the 27th. Russell. But yeah, that's something else. So between now and next week, everybody, please, for God's sakes, stay healthy, stay safe, stay sane, and be kind to one another. Good night, all.